When I encountered Talia, when she saw me, she was trembling uncontrollably. Again, our hearts broke for this girl, obviously severe PTSD. And she told me that one evening back in July, she was in her backyard and she had this long stick and she was trying to knock down some fruit from the tree to make a drink out of it. The sun is just starting to go down. And again, the incursions only happened after dark.
What is the occult? I'm new to all of this.
Well, the occult is a very general term. The occult is a very broad term. The mystery schools are a little more specific. The mystery schools go back to the ancient times, and the function of the mystery school, fundamentally, is to preserve the knowledge of the antediluvian world. When I lived there, I heard of the legend of the face peelers. There was no consensus on who the face peelers were. Some of them thought the face peelers were extraterrestrials, aliens. They can't be human precisely because of this technology that's being deployed, right? Others believe that the face peelers were gringos who were there to harvest organs.
This has happened before. Miners will go in and try to scare the wits out of villagers by pretending to look like aliens.
That's ridiculous.
There's no way. I mean, there's gold mines all over the world. The most sophisticated technological gold miners are sifting gold out of a river bottom.
And flying around with jetpacks.
That's what I'm getting at.
The alleged alien attacks began in July this year. An isolated indigenous community in rural Peru claims so.
This is a legend that goes back decades in Peru.
This is in 2022.
This is 2023, July of 2023. The villagers are saying, we're being assaulted by aliens, and they were saying, they were using the term pelacara. This legend goes back to the mid to early 80s, but not further back than that. It began in the 80s.
This is verified?
Yes. There was a joint military operation happening in Peru. It was called Resolute Sentinel. It involved the Air Force, it involved the Marines, it involved Space Force.
At what point do you just get introduced like, oh, hey, you made it. Here's the
You mean
here's
into the mystery
knowledge.
schools?
You might want to build a bunker.
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I don't know the answer. No, we're talking about functional knowledge. Information that is very important, that is transmitted through myths also. And it's done primarily through symbolism. Because languages change, right? Mm-hmm. Languages change, but the meaning of the symbols always remains the same.
You do have a bunker there. Is there something you know that we don't?
No, I think that's just like a little shelter under, and it's like a basement.
A little shelter? What are you worried about?
So how do you think these guys get into, how do they get the knowledge? Have you thought about that?
You mean the people who are in the...
Yeah, the bunker builders.
No, you got to be way high up into these organizations before they start to transmit this information to you. Back in the 70s, the RAND Corporation published a paper describing what is called a magneto-leviton train, which...
Magneto-leviton train.
Maglev train, a magneto-leviton train. They said that they could go coast to coast. I think it was half an hour or 40 minutes, coast to coast, from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. I'm very persuaded that we did build that train system.
You have a podcast, you're out there, you got a great social media presence. You're here. Why would top military advisors or anybody leak that information to you?
I think that it's common knowledge among people in the intelligence community and certain individuals working in different levels of the government. I don't think that it's that big of a secret that we have a train system like that. It would make sense for continuity of government, right? If we are preparing for a nuclear strike, that we would build underground bases and connect them to some kind of a rail system. I think what goes on in the underground bases that's the classified stuff. I think that's where some of these unacknowledged special access programs are being developed in the deep underground military bases.